Hello everyone, welcome back to Marian's World. I'm filming you a little extra snippet of a video all about nettle string. I've had a few comments since I did the nettle page in my flower book, and so I thought we could come out today. It's a nice sunny day, it's a bit windy, and I'll gather the nettles and I'll just film a little short tutorial showing you just exactly how it's done. The garden is looking quite overgrown at the moment. I've been struggling to get out to do it, but the hydrangea is looking beautiful. The clematis here is covered with thousands of flowers. So I'm always ducking under there to get through. I'm coming up here into quite an overgrown little piece, and what have I got here? Some great big nettles. They're actually a little bit further on than is good for string because they're a bit branchy. You can see here the flowers I was trying to capture in paint on my fabric book page. So actually these are quite long. I think they're going to work, but probably I wouldn't have wanted these side shoots on, but it doesn't matter. I'm sure I'll be able to do it. So I'm going to pull up these long nettles here, and if you find a good nettle patch, I would definitely use some gloves if you're not used to handling them like I am, but I've been used to handling them so much it doesn't really bother me. So I'm going to pull up these long ones, and this is exactly what you want, just a great big long strand of nettles. So I'm going to pull up a few. That looks like a good one too. In fact, I'll just pull them all up. So another one, and this one. Actually they are quite nice and long. It's these side shoots really that I don't want, but we'll see how it goes. Really, a little bit earlier in the year would have been better, but I've had so many comments about them, I thought it was worth coming out to try and do it. Years ago I used to always make my nettle string early and wear a nettle necklace all year, but it is a while since I did that. So the first thing I'm going to do is actually strip all the leaves off. I'm going to be really careful where these side shoots are. I don't particularly want them, so I'm going to be careful stripping them off, but then I'm just going to take them all off, strip them down. Get all these leaves off, right up to the top. And it's the top leaves that you would have used for nettle tea. They're a bit old now, they'll be a bit too strong. That's one nice stripped down piece. Okay, I've got these lovely lengths. Next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to have to crush them, because what we're wanting is the actual fibre that's coming into here, coming from here. But what we don't want is the pith that's in the middle. So I'm going to get that out by hammering these flat, or I could walk on them like that. So what I'm going to do to just hit these, bashing the stems down to break the outer part. It doesn't take much effort. Really, you're mostly bothered about all of those leaf joints. You can use a stone, you can stand on them, however you do it. Okay, I've just put an old bit of t-shirt on my knee because I don't want my skirt to be getting in a mess. And we're just going to process these nettles again. So you can see that by bashing it, I've actually split open the nettle, and what I need to do is split that down all the way along the length, and I'm just using my fingernail and my finger to get in and split this open and split it right the way back. Because I've bashed it with the hammer, even at the leaf joints it's coming apart quite well. You can already see the pieces of fibre, which is what I'll be using. And so once we've got it opened up, if you crack it like that, you can see these pieces of the tissue of the inside of the nettle just come off, and I need rid of all of that. What I need at the end are the fibres, like that. So all of this pith needs to go, and the easiest way is just to run it over your fingers like that, and the pith comes off and leaves you with the fibres coming off the outside. So I'm just going to make sure I get all of the fibre that I would like to get. So here's another piece coming here. So all of that pith, that's going. Open it up, and then the pith comes off, leaving the long fibres. These are what we're after. Doesn't look like much, but believe me, that's what we're going to work with. So here I've got it here going. So again, I'm cracking the nettle from the inside, bending it over my finger, and the pith will come off and leave me with the fibre, which is what I'm after. I want as much of that off as possible. This is coming off beautifully, look. I must have hit this one really well. It's just coming off like a dream. I think that one's about stripped. Did that one so well. Getting quite nice long pieces off here. Anyway, I'm going to process all of these up, and I'll show you what I've got when I've done it. I've had to move in because it started to be a bit windy for what I was doing, but I've actually split all my pieces down as fine as I can go, and as you can see I've got quite a lot of fibres now. Some of them are still a bit thick, but some of them are really nice and fine, like this. You can see I've got quite a nice fine fibre there. I'm going to just hang this up, and it'll only take a couple of hours and it'll dry, but what I'm very pleased at is I've got some quite long fibres, which is really good. So I'll let it dry. I'll come back and you can see the difference from the fresh fibres and the dried fibres. I've just brought the dried nettle in, and as you can see it's really gone crunchy. You can see it's dried up. I'm actually ready now to turn these into my string, maybe make a necklace from it. So I've actually put a white cloth on my knee so it will show up what I'm doing. I've just dampened the threads or the fibres, and I'm going to start off by just taking 2 or 3 lengths to start twisting, and I'm going to show you how I was shown how to ply the fibres into a thread. So I'm starting not quite halfway, I'm holding it because I don't actually want to run out of the fibres at the same point. I want them to run out at different points. So I'm going to just start them rolling away from me. Just going to start a ply going, and then the idea is that you put your hand down and you roll them both away down your leg, and when you let go of this bit it'll start and ply together. So I'm just going to hold that in, move it back up my leg and roll again, and both sets are rolling, and that means it'll ply straight away. I hope you can see that. And I'm holding it, pulling it back, getting a good long roll so it twists it, and then as I let go they'll ply together. And what we have is, if I hold it there, I'll show you close up. I've got a stable thread. It's quite strong. If I want to, when I've done it, I can ply that together with another one and make it even thicker. But I'm going to carry on and do it like this. So down my leg, ply together. Down my leg and ply together. And you end up with a really nice looking thread. When you come that you're starting to run out of threads, so that one's going to run out first, this one's going on a long way, I want to start a new thread in. So I'll get a couple of fibres. This one's a bit thick still. I'll get a fibre and I'm going to lie it across that opening. I'm not just going to start it here and go down. It's easier if I can lie it across, so I'm going to lie the longest bit down where I've got short, and I'll lie it across that whole piece, and I will carry on. So that's not going to last very long, but this is my longest piece, so I'm going to go start that there, and I'm just going to do exactly the same. I'm going to roll them. Oh, that one's not rolling. Roll them down and let them ply. And you can see, or you can't see where the join is. You can't see where that join is now. I'm going to start where they're coming apart in the ply. Lie one half down one way, one half down the other. I'll start them rolling so that they can twist on my leg, and then off I'm going again, just rolling the fibres and then letting it ply up. And really that is literally all there is to it. And I can ply these together as much as I like to make as thick a string as I like, or a cord. I'm keeping in mind that I'll probably make this into a necklace, so I didn't want it to be very thick. And you can see that even in a few minutes I've actually got, you know, what, about a foot, maybe 15 inches of string. It's strong, it's not going to snap very easily, and I can leave it like that. It's not going to unravel, it's just going to stay like that. That end's not going to unravel, and I just keep going. So the other way I know is that you do it as two separate actions. So I'll twist that one and come down over the top. I'll hold it with my other fingers, then twist that one. So it's the same action, you're just not having to roll it down your leg. So twist and pull over, hold, twist, pull over, hold, twist. I'm actually doing this right-handed at the moment. Twist, cross, twist, cross, twist, cross. And again, we get the same, we get the exact same fibre, the exact same thread coming out. Another thing to be aware of is that to keep each bundle of fibres around about the same thickness, because if you don't, what will happen is when you're plying together, one will end up, the thin one will end up wrapping round the thick one, and that won't be as strong as if they're both even and they both ply around each other rather than one around the other. So just try and keep your bundles of fibres the same thickness. If one starts to get thin, that's the time to get another piece of fibre in. It's time consuming, but it's enjoyable, and it's definitely enjoyable once you can see how much you're making. I've now got at least about 2.5 feet. Well, I've got my whole length done. I actually made 7 feet of nettle string in the end. I'm just wrapping it up for you so you can have a look. So it's really nice. I'm definitely making a necklace from it. When I came to the end of most of my fibres, I had some really fine fibres left, and I thought I'd just see how thin I could make a thread, and actually I've made a really thin one. So I've got about 2 feet of that, and I think that is absolutely going to be able to sew. So I think I'm going to try and put that, if not on my nettle page, then onto one of the others, because I'm super happy that I got something that fine. It's the first time I've tried to do it that thin, but that was literally just a couple of fibres on each side of the row of the twist. Well, it's not quite the right sort of a shirt to be wearing a necklace round, but here it is. I've got my nettles. I've put one of my holy stones on it, just with a loop, and I've just tied it in a knot at the back and make sure I can get it on over my head. So it's a while since I've made myself a nettle necklace, and I'm really pleased I've done it. I'll probably wear this for the rest of the summer. If you've enjoyed that, please press the like button. Subscribe to my channel if you want to see what else odd goings on there might be other than sewing. And I will see you next time. Bye bye from Marion's World.